Kumusta man si tatay?
Well, the first few weeks were hard for him, of course. He had to adjust and adapt to a different environment. You know what? The Hague is far from home.
Yes. Pero the first time you saw si PRRD, of course, tough magit si tatay.
The first one was the hardest one. He did not look good.
You as a daughter, of course, your wish is everyone's wish nga makaulit si Tatay Digo. But do you think that there's a bigger chance yun nga maulit sa tuwa si...
I love you even more now that you are 80, retired, and you consider yourself a nobody. I love you even more.
Kachot lang ha. Kabalo ko nga excited na mo ni ining episode sa programang Binisaya CHITchat ato ni. Pero ay ha nako ipadayon ang kining episode naalang sa unta ko'y hangyo sa inyo ha. Kabalo ba mo nga nadiskubre nako bag-uhay lang nga 80% sa mga galantaw sa ato ang mga CHITchat episode dinhi sa ato ang YouTube channel dili mga subscribers. Kung galantaw ka sa mga episode sa CHITchat dinhi sa YouTube, palihog unta lang mag-subscribe mo hangyo na gid si Uncle. No, kung ganahan lang mo. Karon magpadayon na ta sa tuang pakighinabi sa tuang special nga guest, Veronica Kitty Duterte, kauban na gid nato finally sa programang Binisaya.
Thank you for having me, Kuya Chito.
Salamat gyud kayo.
Thank you. Salamat pud kaayo.
Kabalo ko nga busy kayo ka, kabalo ko nga behind sa kaning kung nagaunsa ta karon. I know that there are so many things going on, but nag-give time gyud ka.
Yes,
Nag-give
of
time
course.
gyud ka.
Thank you.
Sugdan lang siguro nato, kumusta ka karon?
Me, I'm fine. I wouldn't say I'm happy because you know, given the situation, it's impossible to say I'm happy.
Yeah.
But I'm fine. I'm doing well. I'm continuing to do what I should, and I'm handling my personal matters. So I'm fine.
Bago lang ka nag-ato sa The Hague.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. I think
Pila ka adlaw?
I was there for 3 weeks.
3 weeks. 3 weeks. Before ko mga musta kay dada nimo kay PRRD, the Filipino people nga naa sa The Hague, the supporters, how was it, V? Because makita na ko sa videos, like shout out kay Sir Alvin. I don't know if you met him, but
Alvin,
yeah.
Actually, we're textmates right now. I asked for his contact details, and I text him from time to time, and he responds, and then we have this back and forth conversation.
Nice. Kaya siya mo nang mag-organize
Yes.
dito video.
And I really appreciate Alvin, all his efforts.
Yes.
So, I just wanna personally thank him. That's
so
why.
kaning while you were sa The Hague, meeting all of the supporters of Tatay Digong, kumusta man, V? How was it there outside sa The Hague?
Being there, I would say it was overwhelming. Overwhelming because imagine all these people, they don't have a personal relationship with PRRD or any of us, but the amount of love and support and admiration they've shown, priceless talaga. So isipin mo yun, for my birthday, I went out to a handa, may handa na. There was this small table, gihimo nilag mini buffet for my birthday, and I didn't think of anything. I didn't think anyone would notice, or dili ba ako ang nagpresidente, anak na ba ako, diba? So paggawas na ako, nanay mga, there were food, there were these, gitagaan pa ko party hat, I think.
Yes.
There was a little girl, she's my friend now, Kin, her name's Kin, I call her Kini girl. Then she gave me this party hat, so parang, grabe, overwhelming ang support from all these people.
I know that you don't want to show nga kanang marag emotional, but did you get emotional?
Of course. It's a whole different milieu for me. I did grow up in politics.
Yes.
Ako, my siblings,
Yes.
my dad, but I was never really exposed to it this way. So, of course, it made me emotional. It overwhelmed me. So many feelings at once.
I think lahi gid po tong you were there bitaw nga na-experience nimo ang kung unsa ka supportive ang mga
Yes,
tao.
yes.
I mean, of course, makita man nimo sa news,
No,
sa social
it's
media.
different,
It's really
dude.
different
It's
yun na
different.
makita nimo.
Yeah.
I hope you're okay if I call him tatay. Kasi that's really
Yes,
how I call
yes.
him, si Tatay Digong.
Mm.
Kumusta did you have a face-to-face with
Of
with
course,
Dada
yeah.
dito?
A couple of times.
A couple of
yeah.
times. Kumusta man si Tatay Dig?
Well, the first few weeks were hard for him, of course. He had to adjust and adapt to a different environment. You know what? The Hague is far from home.
Yes.
The food is different. The whole environment is different. So we really had to cope up with everything. But then we came, we visited, and then we had talks about various things, mostly about family and things that would uplift him, that would strengthen his spirit. And I think that really helped because exactly 1 week after all those talks, Kuya Chito, he looked better. His eyes brightened. Nagkalaman siya. So, yeah, I guess.
So, nakatabang ang katunga.
He gained weight.
Yeah.
And parang the distress, the emotional, mental distress, it subsided. It subsided.
But the first time you saw si PRRD, of course, tough manggit si
The
Tatay
first
Digong.
one was the hardest one. He did not look good. It was a very emotional experience for my mom and I. And the hardest thing about it, Kuya Chito, was we were not allowed to cry. Why? Because, you know, it would affect PRRD.
Yes.
Pag-alis namin, siya na lang yung mabilin. So, it's harder for him.
Yes,
We
yes.
always have to think of that.
And how was it for you?
It was very, very hard for me. The first visit was the hardest. The first visit, bago pa lang siya dito sa unit. And, he wasn't adjusting well yet. So, we always start with massages for him inside. So, paggunit na ko sa iyang kamot, murag wala na may unod. So, I think that was the hardest part for me. And then, the whole time I was there was this lump in my throat.
Right.
Lunok-laway talaga ba? So, I couldn't, show vulnerability in front of him either. Kay, when I leave, mas luoy siya.
Yes.
He'll keep thinking na, we're so distressed and worried about him. So, of course, we also had to think of how he'd feel.
Unsay basig na kay ma-remember V na you shared with PRRD bitaw nga murag ni bright ang iyang mata.
He likes hearing about my childhood memories.
Okay.
Because when I tell you, Kuya Chito, I was a handful. I was a walking reflection of PRRD.
Okay.
Kanang stubborn, headstrong, kung unsay gusto buhaton. So, if you ask any of sila, yaya namo sa balay na 21 years na sa amo, akong mom, I was the hardest to raise, good. So, his eyes suddenly brightened, good, if ibalik na ko to. Kay, murag, right now, laughing matter naman good siya. Karon atong nga time, murag, kapoy pa kayo. Pero right now, laughing matter na lang sa amo. So, I told him about our memories, when I was of my childhood.
Na kay basig pwede ma-share specific.
Okay. Okay, kanisa. There was this one time I was about, I think, basta wala pa 6 years old.
Okay.
Around 3 to 5.
Okay.
And then, so of course, I was getting bigger na. Gusto manggod na ako na dungan mi tanan maligo as a family. I had this thing na I wanted to do everything with them.
Okay.
Maligo, magkaon, tanan, dapat sabay mi.
Okay.
And then my dad at the time, when I was a baby pag yun, like an infant, he would give me a bath.
Right.
Pero when I got older, syempre kay babae ko. So he left that to my mom na kay parang, babae. And then, during that time, I couldn't understand why. Nganong dili man pwede dungan maligo? Nganong dili man ta pwede mo sabay? Gusto na ko, kita tulo ni mama, sabay ta. Dili man siya. So, he locked the door. And then I was outside his door. I was banging on the door. I love to throw tantrums, labi na before. So I was banging on the door and I was shouting. I was threatening him na in English kay when I was little, English lang gud ko. Ingon ko na, ug dili nimo ni abrihan, pagtiguang nimo, bilin ti ka sa dalan nga, dili ti ka tagaan og pagkaon.
Okay.
And then, I was banging on the door so hard and I was kicking it until nabuslot gyud siya. Kay plastic ra bayaan mong purtahan, Kuya Chito, no? So, dali lang siya anuhon ba? Nabuslot gyud ang sa ilalo. And then, I was crying on the floor kay dili man gihapon ko kalusot kay gamay lang man ang butas. So, moto. I was crying on the floor and then my mama was comforting me lang. And she was saying na dada might be busy, maong dili siya gusto nga sabay mo maligo. She was making up all these excuses. And then, paggawas sa akong papa sa CR, I was like throwing things at him. Kay sa kasuko na ako ba, anong dili pwede nga dungan ta. So, I think he likes this story. Kay he remembers how hard I was to tame.
Yes.
So
mogi din na nga mahimo na lang gid siya nga mura og kataw-anan if you look back. Naistoryahan naman gid nato ron about your relationship with Tatay Digong. Well, ganina off cam before we started the chit-chat, ingon ako nga kaning personalidad yun ni Tatay Digong bitaw nga murag grabe ka intimidating.
Yes.
Grabe ka intimidating. But how is he at home?
Well, like I said, Kuya, as his daughter, I can tell you a totally different narrative about him. At home, sorry, palitan
It's okay.
Sorry, kasi emergency lang. So, ayun, at home, he's very different. Yes, he's different with the boys and us girls. With the boys, he's firm, he's, pwede ra, you know, how disciplinarians are, ang culture nato of discipline with us Filipinos na kanang mamalo gyud, ana-ana. It's different with us girls. You may think he's the most confrontational person ever, but when it comes to us, actually all of us is children, but especially with the girls, the most he can do is silent treatment. Silent treatment, and then he leaves the work to the moms.
Okay.
Like he just, what he does is he raises his concerns to my mom, what he doesn't like about my behavior or what I need to change, and then my mom does the the dirty work, the palo, the sigaw, yeah. I know when he's mad, og dili ko niya tag dun. Like, pagsulod na ko bala wala. He just, keeps to himself and continue doing what he's doing.
Kaya kanang napugi makita nga mga clips bitaw. Like, I think sa imuhan ng gikan kanang ginabibi kay gid niya. Until now, like,
me? Siyempre, kay youngest ko. And then, before he was taken from us, the night before he was taken, tapad mi natulog ato. Cause we've heard news already of what was about to happen. We knew. And then, okay, ingon ko kay mama na, okay, tapad ko kay dada matulog ron kay wala ta kabalo. So, tapad yun ko sa iya natulog. And then, wala, pagsabalay mi, how he was with me when I was little, same gihapon karon. I think that's how most dads are man yun.
Right.
You know, this thinking na dili nila madawat na their daughter is now a young lady.
Yes.
I mean, I understand.
Yeah.
It's what most dads, if not all dads have. Like,
sorry, Vi, balikan lang nako tong ingon nimo nga gitaparan nimo si PRRD the night before to nahitabo ang pagkuha sa iya. Kasi imong gibuhat? Like, did you hug him? Did you, na ba may conversation?
Si PRRD man good, he likes to sleep on his right side. He's a side sleeper, so ano siya, side siya. And then akong, that night, what I did was, the usual lang yun, mutanday ko. Hilig mo ko mutanday. Nga luoy kaya na siya kay bugat ba akong pata, no? But, he's fine with it. Wala man siya reklamo. So, nitanday ko sa iya. And then, kato lang. And then, I forgot what it was exactly that I told him. I think I was asking him questions. I said, "Now what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen to you?" Yeah. And then of course, I think what distresses him the most is pag distressed ko. So of course, white lies. White lies yung gingon. Yung typical niya, macho persona niya. Paborito niya tong linya. Wala yan. Yan talaga, wala yan. Yan yung favorite line niya. Wala yan, maniwala ka dyan. Ganyan. Yan yung linya niya every time. Para dili ko mahadlok or mabala ka ba. So, that's what I was asking him all these questions. What's gonna happen? What are they gonna do to you? What's gonna happen to us? And then, he's like, wala yan, maniwala ka dyan. Ganyan ba? So,
pero ikaw ato,
I knew. Kabalo na pud ko sa iyang style nga, white lies good to comfort me.
Right.
So, I just stopped asking and then let him sleep na lang. Kaya I think it was 2 a.m. when pagsulod na ko sa iyang room. So, it was 2 a.m. and then, biyahe pa mi the next day. Because, kato ang day na, it happened. So, yeah. I just, let him sleep it off na lang.
Unsa siya, V, like, is he also like the typical father, especially the like mga youngest ng mga bunso? Baby, like what you said, baby man yun kay pag bunso. Like, does he kiss your forehead? Mga yun na.
Yes, he does. When I was little, sa lips jud mi tanan nagakiss. Now that I'm a young lady, magdumog siya kiss kanang like how I am with Mira, like kiss everywhere good, pero kanang sa cheek, sa forehead, and then maghug, and then from time to time I do try to sit on his lap gihapon, mag-agay naman siya. So tapad na lang po, like the most I can do is sit beside him really close na lang gyud kay syempre bugat na pud ko Kuya Chito. So yeah.
If it's okay with you, if we can talk about your siblings po now. Sa kay Kong Paulo, kay Ma'am Inday, kay Mayor Baste, among sa ilahang tulo, kinsay pinaka-close nimo sa ila?
Of course, all of them three, but I would say Kuya Baste, kasi we have the closest age gap, and then we're neighbors. Okay. So mas doon ni. And then I understand naman with my older siblings that katong duha, they have their own families, right. they have work. Of course, dili ba lalum ng work nila, no? So their profession requires a lot of time, effort, and thinking. So
ang nahitabo karon kay PRRD, how did it affect your relationship with your siblings? Mas nag-tighten bang inyong relationship?
Definitely, yes. We were close before, but I think lahi karon kay everyday na may gastorya, maski samok na guys, kapuya na oy, kailangan nato mo storya kay there's a lot of things to discuss right now kay this isn't an easy situation to navigate. So
you as a daughter, of course, your wish is everyone's wish nga makauli si Tatay Digong. But do you think that there's a bigger chance yun nga mauli sa tuwa si?
There's a big chance, Kuya. Though we leave the the important details to the legal counsel so that it doesn't affect with anything.
Unta.
Yes, prayers lang yun.
Prayers lang.
Collective prayer, I think.
Unsa ang with all of this right now, sa mga panghitabo, unsa yung mga realizations nimo? Did it also help you nga murag kanang understand a bit about life and family?
Yes, for sure. That's for sure. As per my mom, lagi daw, in one day, nag-mature ko og 30 years. That's what she said. It was painful for her because I should be able to act like a 21-year-old. I should be able to live like a 21-year-old. But given the situation, I have to act like I'm years ahead of,
In what way, V?
Right now I have to be more cautious of what I'm doing, who I am, who I include in my circle. That's very important. And just how I think in general, how I think, my mindset, my coping mechanisms,
Your friends, of course, you've nagdagan ka close friends, but aside sa your family, your close friends, ang imuhang na realize nga support system be, who are they?
I would say I have a lot of acquaintances, kuya. I'm a chatty person. I mean, I'm not an extrovert, but I have to be. So, yeah, I meet a lot of people. And then, of course, I converse with them if they start a conversation with me. But when it comes to friends, good, I can only name a few. I can only name a few. I have some in Manila. I also have some here in Davao. And then, I think most of them childhood friends na yun.
Okay.
I'll mention one.
Okay.
His name is Day.
Okay.
We've been friends for almost... I'm not good at math. Dali lang.
It's okay.
Yeah, for a decade. A decade or more. And then, I'll mention this other one because I think my friends who really stuck around, they deserve special mention.
Yes.
Si Kaisha. Wait. How old ba ang grade 1, 7? So, 21 minus 7.
So that's
13. Am I correct?
12.
13.
Sorry, 21 minus 7? 14.
14.
Sorry.
14 years.
Nabugo po ng mata and bullet.
14 years.
years.
Actually, most of them, tig 14 years na gyud mi, amigo. So, sila gihapon akong inner circle karon.
With what's
With
what happened?
What's happening. I converse with a lot of people. I engage with a lot of people. Pero, katong ginaingnan gyud nako
Sila
og
ginainan.
those I confide in, less than 5 for sure.
Always sila ga-check sa imo.
Yes.
They always check on
Yes, they always do.
We understand, no, kay of course na balita magyud pud to nga because now that you're in the Philippines, si Tatay Digong nasa The Hague, pag magstorya mo, dili mo pwedeng dili mag-English. Kailangan English in yung
At
conversation.
first, yeah, we were required by the facility to speak in English. Since somehow monitored siya, so English. And then, I received good news for my birthday. They said, okay, you can speak in your dialect already, the colloquial way. Then I was so happy because we're all comfortable, more comfortable talking in Bisaya. And his favorite song, Ikaw, is also in Filipino, in Tagalog, right? So, yeah, I think that was the first time I was able to speak to him in our native dialect in our language.
Ikaw din ang paborito.
Ikaw. So,
Ikaw.
I sang it inside
So,
with him.
Ikaw by ikaw.
I just
Sharon?
I just know the version of Regine.
Mo ba na ikaw ang bigay ng
The one he always sings in when he goes to these events.
Right.
Ikaw.
Okay.
So I sang it to him in the detention unit. And then towards the end of the song, he joined me. So bali duet me towards the end of the song. So it was nice. Yeah.
Gikantahan.
Huh?
Gikantahan din mo siya sa
Yes. Kaya it's been like a tradition for us. Like my dad, he loves the opera. He loves the opera. So I wrote to him nga on one of my letters, in one of my letters. Ipa-remember na ko sa iya kay when I was little, there's this Latin, I'm not sure, but there's this song he told me about. He said, okay, if you can, because ever since I was fond of singing na good ever since. I wouldn't say I'm good, pero I just like singing.
Karon na pagkabalo ha.
I just like singing. And so he told me when I was little, okay, if you can perform or if you can sing Nessun Dorma perfectly, you will become my favorite. So, I was like, okay, I want to be the favorite. Why not? Diba? So, over the years, I kept practicing this song, Nessun Dorma. And then, it's been like a yearly tradition na I sing it for him during like Christmas parties at home or during his birthday. But during my birthday in The Hague, in his unit, I chose Ikaw. Kasi I thought that a Tagalog song would make him feel more at home. You know, because it's his language, Filipino. So.
Unsay mga kanang murag quirky moments ninyo ni kanang mga makatawa nga wala mi kabalo nga ingon ana day si Tatay Digong.
Gahapon, Tuesday. I was on the phone with him Tuesday. Then I said, oh, Dada, I wrote you a letter. I wrote about Mir and I's birthday party there. And I wrote about Kuya Baste meeting my beau.
Okay.
So, I told him na, but don't worry, because Kuya said he's kind and courteous, ganahan daw siya. Then he said, he better be. He better be. Ano kaayo siya, he better be daw. And then he said na the first agenda niya when he gets home is i-confront tong, kato daw. Wala, dili mo kaon, dili mo ano. His first agenda is that daw good.
How is his food day?
His food, we received good news, I think it was this morning, na he's eating well and I think his appetite is better. Okay. And they are helping him inside with his food and the chores. Right. So yeah. And then ayun, before we left, we made sure na there was enough for him also. Nami checklist dito, and we made sure tanan paborito niya mahatag sa iya. So okay.
Ganahan baglaw si
He likes lauoy, yes.
He likes lauoy.
But I also requested the one handling everything to add pork because he likes pork knuckles. It's one of his favorites. So, pag hatag niya sa lista, na beef, na chicken, and then, wala may pork, ganahan na siya pork. So, I think it was 5 a.m. Nalimpungatan pa ko. But I listed everything that he liked. Yes. Apil iyahang mga vitamins, apil iyahang drinks na gusto. As we all know, he likes Coke Zero. Yes. But I told him before I left we really have to tone down on the Coke Zero because it's not good for the sugar. I mean, although it's called zero, naman ay artificial, chemicals, right? Yes. So I told him, substitute sa nimang green tea because he likes green tea. Okay. So it's either lang yun, Coke Zero, green tea, or kape. Okay. Kape niya. Okay. And with his kape, ganahan na siya pag he likes to pour it sa iyang kanon para murag sabaw niya ba.
Hoy, mao ba?
Yes, favorite niya na gyud.
Ako on gyud kanang si tawagan na kanang inato gyud ay.
Tapos iyahang he likes bread also. Nya isawsaw niya na sa kape ana iyahang.
Do you prepare coffee for him?
I tried before. Katong gamay pa ko. I'm clumsy. I spill everything. Okay. There was one time he had a favorite plate. I think it was color orange or red. And then I accidentally broke it. Si Mama Manggod, when I accidentally break things at home, suko kaayo. Kabalo baka kana dili na mahal na siya. So I was naratol ko ba? Saon man ni pag-abot kay naanak ko sa dining table, nagtimpla-timpla lang gud kog kape for fun. Then niabot sila mama og si dada. Then nangurog ko, tapos kahilakon ako. Tapos katong pag nangutana man sila sa yaya na, sa may inahitabo nga nung nihilak man na. And then, nihilak na, nagsabaw na ko aton. Kay nakabalo sila na nabuak na ko iyang favorite plate.
Okay.
And then, I remember na, in verbatim, na, sus, that's just a plate, you're my baby. Nagipalingkod ko niya sa iyang lap.
Yes, sweet yun.
Well, I did try.
Yes, Yes.
I failed. So, lately, wala pa ko nakatimpla og kape niya.
Ginasumog ka niya? Like, sumug-sumugon ka niya?
Yeah, in a way na, actually, wala kaayo.
Okay.
Kay akong mama man god, hilig siya mo, sungog na, tambok na ka,
Okay.
Pero akong papa man god, I would say most of my confidence came from him.
Wow.
Like, growing up, Jude, he would exhaust all the superlative adjectives on me in all the positive ways. Like, prettiest, sexiest, smartest, everything superlative. Iyahang sa ako. So, I think, yeah, if makitaan niya na nidako ko, wala mo. Wow, gwapa ka. Kagwapa sa akong baby, oy, ana. Or, yeah, so, maybe, kanang sungog lang na, lahi siguro, not about the appearance or kuan. Yeah.
Ganina na-mention mo, his first business, pag makauli na siya, is to confront, no? Si, mo. Pero ikaw, what's the first thing na nahuna-hunaan ni movie pag maguli siya?
My mom and I talked about this. Actually, it was in front of him also. Murag promise sa ako, mama. Ingon siya sa akong dad na, when you get out of here, we will eat at the Filipino restaurant. Kay, I think that's what he would want the most.
Yeah.
Kaiyahang taste, binisaya, gyud ba?
Yes.
Pareho may actually, I like salty food. Parat gyud ng amoa. So, katog gyud to eat at a Filipino restaurant.
Nice specific Filipino diner or restaurant niya.
Actually, dito sa Hague. Kasi if makagawa siya, usa ka Filipino restaurant dito.
Okay.
It's called Barrio Pilipinas.
Okay.
Or Barrio Filipino.
Okay.
We ate there a couple of times and that's where I celebrated my birthday. So, di ba kahilig man kog parat. So, nangunta na ako, mama, okay, where do you wanna celebrate your birthday? Dito sa Pinoy kay.
Yes.
Lami. Actually, lami kayo yung ilang kare-kare dito. Kay parat ba? So, ganahan ko.
So, dito gini madal on diretso si tatay.
Yes.
Na lang. If na kay gusto isulti sa tanang supporters ni PRRD, if we'd like to take this, opportunity nga mastoryanin mo sila from the heart.
So ever since day one, I've had the same sentiments. The feeling is overwhelming, and I will forever have gratitude and respect and love for all of you, who have supported my father, PRRD, since day one, and ever since the start of his career. So daghang salamat gid sa inyo. The loyalty you've shown is priceless. Dili na makitaan bisag asa and dili yun na mabayran. So, daghang salamat yun sa inyong tanan. The kind of support you've shown is something that I will bring hantod pag tiguang yun na ko. Dili yun na ko makalimtan. Kasi ako, I like handwritten letters. So, for my birthday, most of the OFWs there wrote me handwritten letters. I read every single one of them pag abot na mo sa hotel. So, daghang salamat gud sa inyo. I even kept all of them. So, daghang salamat gud sa inyo. Dili gud mabayran inyong love, support, and loyalty. Salamat gud kayo.
KPRRDV, basig.
Yes, to my dada, You already know that I write you letters every day ever since I left The Hague. And I haven't stopped ever since, and I will not stop. That's my promise to you. I also have another promise that I am very determined to uphold, but that is between you and I. So, yes, I will keep that promise. I will stand by the promise I made you that day. And I love you. I also wrote to you in my letter, I love you even more now that you are 80, retired, and you consider yourself a nobody. I love you even more.
Thanks, V.
Thank you, Kyle.
Promise din, wala ko kabaloon sa akong pagpasalamat sa inyo
Salamat
for your
po,
time.
Kuya Chito.
Wala ko nag-expect na you would say yes. Suntok sa buwan, ragid siya, V. Daghang king salamat. And again, lisod kayo ang situation namo karon. V really showed up para sa kaninga chit-chat. Salamat kayo.
Thank you.
And
Salamat, good kuya.
please know, and I think kabalo naman yung ka nga, we're praying for Tatay Digong, for your whole,
Salamat
sa inyong
kayo.
pamilya. We're always here para sa
Mahangyo
inyo.
jud ko kuya na dapat dili gid mo undang ang collective prayers
Yes.
kay
Yes.
importante kayo na.
Yes. V,
Yes.
happy belated birthday po
Thank
sa
you.
imo. And i-claim na gid namo, i-claim na ko nga ang birthday gift nimo nga imong gina-wish matinuod gyud siya. And kana lang, again, we will keep on praying
Yes.
for Tatay.
And one
Digong.
last thing kuya, dili
Sure.
daw ko pwede tawagig 21 years old. Kay
Oh.
to PRRD, I am 12 years old.
Always mo, ha?
Always. Yeah, 12 years old.
Typical typical tatay ba nga murag nadalagan akong anak, muragana dito. V, salamat kayo.
Salamat
Grabe
kayo.
ka, salamat.
Salamat
Salamat
kayo.
kayo.
Baby,